Arturo, Adam, Anschutz, Clayton. Let me see if I have an email from him. No. Ryan Beglinger. I have an email. Justin, Jacob, Jonathan, Clancy, okay, Brandon, Caleb, Copeland, Colton, Robert Colton, Duffield, Graceland, excuse, Hunter, Ginter, Andrew Ginter, Savannah here, Looney excused, Massey, I think I had an email from him earlier, but I'll check. Jasmine, Namovich here, Patel here, the other Emma, Will Smith, excused, Sublet here, Bronson excused, Beatrice here. Okay. All right. Now that I'm feeling better, let's take care of chapter 8. Our plan today is first half to do problems on chapter 8. Then after a break, we're going to start chapter 9 and we'll complete chapter 9 next week. All right. Okay. Now, who wants to attack this? The difference between an investment and blank is called the net present value. Just get a stab at it. Basically, think about the definition of net present value. Okay, what's that part? Yeah, okay. How about the second part? The second part should be easier. The difference between an investment's future cash flow and its what? Well, just cost. That's why we call it net. Technically, it's present value of not value. But as long as you had something like future cash flow, I'll be fine. Stuff like this is kind of tricky. I'm pretty flexible on those. Discounting cash flow analysis is the process of discounting what of a project. That should not be that difficult. What are we discounting? No, cost is right now anyway. It's already present. We discount stuff that's in the future, right? What do we get in the future? Future cash flows or just cash flows. That's the definition of discounted cash flow analysis. Okay. The payback period is a period of time it takes an investment to generate sufficient cash flows to recover the investment's initial cost. True or false? By definition, I mean, that is the definition of payback period. Sometimes you don't need to do much reasoning. The discount rate that causes the net present value of a project to equal zero is called the required return. True or false? Let me hear different voices, please, if possible. What do you think, Sublet? Why? Huh? That's your best guess. Okay. It is false. Now let's think about the reason why it's false. You guys are lucky. I'm going to start doing exams in this class next fall. And the questions are going to be, here's a question, multiple choice or true false, half the points for correct answer, half the points for explaining why. So I'm getting out of COVID mode. I was like that before COVID. What do you think? No, you can have zero net present value. What's described over there is the internal rate of return. Okay? That's the definition of internal rate of return. It is a discount rate such that if you use that rate to discount the future cash flows, net present value is exactly zero. If by accepting one investment you eliminate the option of another investment, you are dealing with investments with multiple IRRs. Is that true or false? Here's what reading the chapter actually comes in handy. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it if you don't read. I know your generation is not big on reading. If you accept one investment, you can't accept others. What do we call projects like those? We call them mutually exclusive projects, okay? It has nothing to do with multiple IRRs. The payback period considers the timing and amount of all of the project cash flows. True or false? Why do you think it's true? I mean, your reasoning kind of is there, but you're forgetting one thing. Once you reach the payback, what happens after that is irrelevant. Whether you get $0 or $1,000,000 after the payback period is irrelevant. Payback period is still the same. So it doesn't consider all the payments. Okay? That's why it's false. The NPV rule states that you should accept an investment if the NPV exceeds the investment's initial cost. True or false? Some other people, please. I mean, I can talk to him all day. I have no problem, but how do we decide using the NPV whether or not a project is acceptable? Let's think about that first. Anyone? Sublet? Huh? It would be a little bit louder. Yeah. More of what? More than what? Well, the answer is zero. Remember, it's already net present value. If the NPV is positive, NPV rule says you should accept the project. The initial cost is already figured into the NPV. It's the future cash present value of future cash flows minus the initial cost. That's why it's false. Okay, who's going to tell me whether this statement is true or false? What it means by market value is something like discounted value or present value. What do you think, Beatrice? Hmm? Why? No, it would be net present value. The difference between investment's market value, which is another term for present value, and its cost is the NPV, not net income. All right. We haven't talked about this, but this is a definition in the book, so let me copy this to the notes and what a crossover point is a discount rate such that NPV of two competing projects are equal.